Are you ready?
Ready.
All right, let's go. Kevin here, top 1 financial advisor and best-selling author. We are here to talk about the stock market. There is a famous investing quote by Warren Buffett that says, "Be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful." Well, today was a fearful day for Southwest Airlines. They canceled nearly 70% of their flights today, mine included. I had travel plans to go home and they're scrapped. So we have to figure out what we're going to do in terms of travel. But because the market was fearful today, the market was down, Southwest was down close to 6%. Could this be an opportunity to invest? I want to take you through my thought process and doing a very quick look at this company, and would love to hear your thoughts about it too. So here's what I did. I pulled together some of my notes, and we'll look at the balance sheet and a few other things, and again, show you what I'm thinking about. But what I'm looking at is this. How well is the stock doing right now? How well has it done over the recent history? So 6 months, so between 6 months to a year. How is it comparing to its peers? So Delta, American, whatever Spirit / Frontier is / JetBlue, whatever happened there, compare it there and then see what else is going on. Do they have insiders? And then what do we expect for 2023? Is that going to be an environment for Southwest to survive? And then lastly, how are their financials? Are they actually making money? Are they making more than their competitors or not? So these are some of the things I'm looking at to say, hey, look, is this a buying opportunity? Is this a dip or a discount? Or is this just, hey, they're falling apart and I don't want to have any part in investing in them at all? So let's go ahead and take a look. So first thing is Southwest Airlines, their stock symbol is LUV for love. That is DAL is the area code or the airport code for Dallas, but the stock symbol is LUV, so Dallas Love Field. But in either case, it's down 10% in the last 6 months, down about 19% over the entire year, or over the last year, so December 2021 to December 2022 to this point, which is right about where the stock market is. So it's pretty much in line with the S&P 500. Not too good, not too bad, but it obviously could be worse, especially when you compare it to some of the other airlines. So over the last year, you've got Delta Airlines is down 31. American Airlines is down 31%. Delta is down about 16%, and it looks like Spirit is down about 15%. So it's kind of all over the place, with American Airlines being the absolute worst performer when it comes to returns for investors. Southwest right there in the middle. Not really telling me too much there. So what I did from there is see, well, what about its investors? What about the CEOs, the board members? Are there any of them that are buying into the company? Because if so, just like we found out with T-Mobile, just like we found out with Starbucks, when we started to see CEOs and other people buying into the company that work there and know more about the company than we do, that could be a strong indicator. I did find over the last 12 months, about 18 insiders bought more shares compared to 13 that sold. But I saw 0 in the last 3 months. Now, whether it's 3 months or 9 months or 12 months, it's not the biggest indicator, but also 18 to 13 doesn't really tell me that much that people who are at Southwest are overly enthusiastic about buying more at this point in time. So that one's out the window. The momentum is also out the window. Why invest in a company that is not trending in the right direction when there are still plenty of others that are? So right now it's just not looking great, at least on my list. But here is something that I do want you to pay attention to. So let's go ahead and look at their income statement, because this is the thing that really gave me my answer. So let me go ahead and pull this up for you. All right, so this right here is their most recent income statement. This tells us how much money they made. As you see here on the top line, this is their passengers, so how much they made from the basic tickets. And this is from September, so 9 months. So we're talking January all the way through September 2021 and 2022. And then just the last quarter, so just 3 months ending in September 2021 and then 2022. Now, what do you notice here? Okay, so we notice that they brought in more money. 10 billion, 17 billion. Okay, great. 4.6 billion, 6.2 billion. They are making more money. And we knew this because coming out of 2020, we saw an all-time low in demand for flights. You get 1 year out of the pandemic, people are looking to fly more. You get 2 years out of the pandemic, people are looking to fly more. But that's not the end of the story. So when we go here, we can kind of skip down and notice these expenses. Okay, you got salaries and wages. That's always going to be the highest thing, especially for any company, but especially for airlines. And then fuel and oil is also quite expensive, and it's gotten more expensive as time goes on. Very interesting. You want to keep a note there. As we scroll down, though, you can see here, this is their net income, how much they make after all the bills are paid. You can see it was $909 million, and it dropped in 2022 to $759. And for the previous quarter, you can see it was $446, and it dropped to $277. That is an issue because you got more demand, you got more money coming in on the top line, the very top of the statement, but you're making less money on the bottom end. So, what is the issue here? Labor cost. We always know that the most expensive thing is always going to be the people that you hire. You can't let go of those people. We saw what happened today. One of the many reasons why Southwest absolutely collapsed today and they had to cancel 70% of flights, including my own, is that they had a huge labor shortage in Denver. So that cost's not going to go anywhere. You're not going to be able to cut staff and still survive. That has been proven. So if anything, we know for a fact that labor costs are going to go up. Oil prices are up in the air. Yes, our personal gas prices did fall for a little bit, but OPEC is going to do whatever OPEC is doing. If you don't know what OPEC is, I did a whole video on the whole oil situation. But I don't really expect oil prices to get significantly cheaper for Southwest. So if those are your two primary drivers, your profits are going to be relatively stale or at least continuously falling, which is strange because in 2023, assuming we don't go into a full-on recession, demand is going to be the same, and even if it's higher, those costs are still going to be higher, and that's still going to be an issue for Southwest. And those margins, I mean, think about it. You went from, again, $900 million to about $759 million. Like, you get more money coming in, you're still losing profit, and it is slowly dwindling down. That's not the type of business that I personally would prefer to be in, especially when a lot of 2023 is still unknown. But when I compare it to, let's say, Delta Airlines, we can take a look at this. When we look at Delta Airlines, very similar here. And I love the fact that this is very similar, like the layout here. So we already know passengers, so on and so forth. Now, similar to Southwest, they made more money on the top end from 2021 to 2022. But I can go through, same thing here, salaries, fuel. Those are the top two categories here in terms of expenses. And I can scroll down to net income. And their net income is also falling in both categories, and in this case Southwest actually makes more money here. So you can see, let's just take 9 months in 2022, 489, and compare that to Southwest at 759. So Southwest Airlines is still more profitable than Delta, even though Delta makes way more money, or at least they have way more revenue, but they don't keep enough money, or they don't keep the same amount. So why that's the case is their businesses are a bit different. Southwest doesn't do as many international flights, they have different clientele, so on and so forth. But the profits are falling across the board, even though demand is still there. And the two biggest areas, fuel and staff, I don't really see those changing. So for me, that's a no for me, dog. I cannot reliably say I can invest in the airline business and just be happy about that. Now, in the past, I've never really been the biggest fan. I did invest in JetBlue years ago prior to the pandemic and got out in December of 2019. I got kind of lucky there. But nah, I mean, I get the premise, right? I get the premise. Stock tanks because of terrible news and a terrible operational snafu. But this is not it. And for context as well, for today, in terms of Southwest, they canceled again 70% of their flights, more than 2,000 flights canceled. The next airline in line after them, I think, was United or Delta, and they only canceled like 9% of their flights. 9% to 70%. One of these things is not the same. And in this case, it was definitely Southwest. Also, what is the brand reputation and damage here? Like, will I fly Southwest after seeing what's happened this weekend and checking Twitter and seeing all the videos and just horror stories? Like, I'm not trying to be stuck in the airport with two kids. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of stress. I don't know if I can trust Southwest moving forward, and I won't be the only one in 2023 that will be double checking to see whether or not I want to fly Southwest or a different airline. The last thing I'll say here too is one of the reasons why Southwest is a bit more profitable than others is the way the business is organized. If you go to Expedia or Google Flights or any of these comparison sites, notice that Southwest is never on any of those. They keep to themselves and make sure they're the primary distribution channel, so they don't share any of those profits with any of these outside travel companies or search engines, which helps them in terms of profitability. But now it's going to be a bit more difficult to retain customers and retain trust, which is what Southwest was mostly known for. I don't know how they get back to the trust factor and how that is going to impact demand and how things are going to move forward. But y'all saw the numbers, same numbers I saw. Profits are falling. I would prefer my companies to have consistent or rising profits, and that's not necessarily the case. Yes, I would expect demand to continuously increase the further we get out from the pandemic. Interest rates are a bit of an issue, but both Delta and Southwest, they have plenty of cash. They're not in an upside down situation. So they've got money. I can't say that Southwest has the operations, but everything else except for profits look fine, but those expenses are not going anywhere. For me, it's no, but I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts about any of the airline industries, but especially Southwest, since it was quote unquote on sale today? For me, it can keep selling. It just is not something that works because the business doesn't seem to be working. I'll be focusing on other areas for 2023. And speaking of 2023, this is your opportunity now. This is the last members only video of the year where I'm going to be going through in advance what I'm buying, what I'm selling. That video is going to come out, what's today? Tuesday? So probably Wednesday or Thursday before the end of the year. Just yesterday, I actually released another video for our members only. We talked about tax loss harvesting, where you can sell off your investments that lost money and actually reduce your taxes by up to $3,000 depending on tax situations. You definitely want to check that out. Something that everybody does, or most savvy investors do, if you know how to do it correctly. So I did a full walkthrough on that, so you want to make sure you check that out inside the members only. All right, that is it for me. Happy holidays, because there are a lot of holidays during this time, including Kwanzaa. So happy holidays, relax. I'll give y'all an updated schedule of what I'll be doing over the next few weeks, just to kind of, take time to enjoy the family, which is what I did yesterday and over the weekend. But want to keep producing videos, but also take time to relax, as you should be doing as well. All right, that's it for me. Talk to you later. Bye.